Are Rakshasa demons real? Rakshasa demons are real, not mythical as many of us mistakenly believe. The Nirvana Sutra explains, for example, if someone takes a Rakshasa woman as a wife, the Rakshasa woman will devour the children she gives birth to. After devouring all the children, she will eventually devour her husband. Similarly, a Rakshasa woman who loves humans will also devour the children born to her, and after devouring all the children, she will devour the humans, causing them to fall into the hells of hungry ghosts and animals. That's how vicious Rakshasa demons are. Venerable Master Zanhua said, the Rakshasa mother and child demons specialize in eating children. Why are they called mother and child demons? Because they lead 1,000 of their children, traveling everywhere to catch and eat children. There was a family where a newborn baby was snatched away and eaten by them. Gradually, many families were left without children. Therefore, some people came to the Buddha, asking why all the children had disappeared. What should be done? The Buddha knew that all the children had been stolen and eaten by them. One day, the Buddha caught the youngest of the 1,000 demons and put it in a bowl, then covered it. When they returned home, they found their youngest child missing. They searched everywhere but couldn't find it. They then went to the Buddha and heard the cries of their child coming from the bowl. They went to the bowl, trying to rescue their child. But they couldn't move the bowl, so they returned home. They summoned 999 little demons to try and move the alms bowl, but they couldn't budge it, not even a thread. So they went to the Buddha and asked, why did you steal my child and put him in the alms bowl, but not return him? The Buddha asked, how many children do you have? They replied, 1,000 children. The Buddha said, you have 1,000 children, and now you've lost only one. Why are you so hasty? They said, even though I've only lost one, I don't want to lose any more. The Buddha said, then what if you stole all the children from other people and ate them? The demons said, I don't want to eat children, but I have nothing to eat. If I don't steal children to eat, my 1,000 children will die hungry. The Buddha said, from now on, you should not steal children to eat anymore. You should take refuge in the 3 jewels. Observe the 5 precepts, and not kill anymore. Think about it, you have 1,000 children, yet you cannot abandon even one of them. I only imprisoned one of your children. And you are so sorrowful. If you steal and eat the children of everyone else in the world, wouldn't their parents be sorrowful? Don't be so selfish. Therefore, the mother demon and her child demons responded to the Buddha, took refuge in the 3 jewels, and observed the 5 precepts. The Buddha then instructed all his disciples that when they ate lunch, they should give a little rice or some food to the mother demon and her child demons. According to her High Songtan, the Dali prefecture was initially occupied by Rakshasa demons. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva came and sat cross-legged there, where the Padma stone still remains today, and then asked the Rakshasa for a piece of land the size of a robe. The Rakshasa agreed. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva The Bodhisattva then unfolded his monastic robe, covering thousands of miles. The Rakshasa demons begged for a piece of land to take refuge. The Bodhisattva agreed, allowing them to move to the mountaintop, which is now the land where the black and white 2 dragons pond is located. According to the Dharma Garden Pearl Forest, during the Tang dynasty, in the Zhongling region, there was a man who married a virtuous woman with flawless beauty. She often adorned herself with strings of pearls and jewels, and her husband loved her dearly. Someone told the husband, your wife is a flesh-eating Rakshasa demon. The husband didn't believe it, but people had said it many times, so he decided to test it. One night, he pretended to be asleep and peeked through his eyes to see his wife secretly get up and go outside the city. The husband chased after her and saw her in the middle of a graveyard. She took off her clothes and precious jewelry and placed them to one side. Her face turned ferocious, long fangs sprouted from her mouth, fire blazed on her head, and her eyes glowed red like fire. She approached the dead, tearing at the flesh of the corpses with her hands and chewing on them. The husband, seeing this, he was terrified and fled to a temple, where he later became a monk. How to avoid being killed by the Rakshasa demons. This species is vicious and fond of eating human flesh, so the Buddha, out of compassion, taught us how to avoid being killed by the Rakshasa demons. In the Lotus Sutra, chapter on the universal gate of Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, at that time, the Bodhisattva Anathapindika rose from his seat, bared his robe to expose his right shoulder, clasped his hands towards the Buddha, and said, "Venerable world-honored one, for what reason is Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva named Avalokiteshvara?" The Buddha said to the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, "Good man, if there are countless hundreds of thousands of millions of sentient beings suffering from various afflictions, and upon hearing of this Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, they wholeheartedly invoke his name, then immediately Avalokiteshvara will perceive their sound and cause them all to be liberated. If anyone recites the name of this Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, even if they enter a great fire, the fire cannot burn them, because of the divine power of this Bodhisattva. If they are swept away by a great flood, invoking his name, they will immediately reach shallow water. If hundreds of thousands of millions of sentient beings, seeking treasures such as gold, silver, lapis lazuli, mother of pearl, agate, coral, amber, pearls, etc., venture into the ocean, and a dark wind blows their boats into the waters of the Rakshasa demons. If even one person in that group invokes the name of Avalokiteshvara, then all those people will be freed from the Rakshasa's calamity. Because of this cause and effect, he is called Avalokiteshvara. If someone about to be harmed invokes the name of Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, the weapons held by those intending to harm them will break into pieces. The person about to be harmed will be freed. If the realms in the 3,000 great universes are filled with yakshas and Rakshasa demons intending to harm people, if someone invokes the name of Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, those evil demons will not even dare to look at them with their fierce eyes, let alone harm them. The Buddha's Discourse on Rakshasa Demons. The Sutra of the Buddha's Original Conduct says, "At that time, the Buddha said to the monks, I remember that in the past, there was a magnificent horse named Kethi. Its appearance was dignified and upright. Its body was bright and clean, like pure white jade, and like pure white silver, like a bright full moon, like a kuta flower. The horse's head was a brilliant blue, it ran as fast as the wind, and its neighing was like a wondrous drum. At that time, there were 500 merchants in the Jambudvipa realm. When the merchants prepared provisions to set sail, they offered sacrifices to the sea god. The merchant hired 500 skilled men to search for treasure. As the fleet sailed into the open sea, they encountered a fierce storm. Their ships tossed about and were swept into the waters of the Rakshasa demons, where many Rakshasa women resided. Near the shore, the ships struck rocks and were destroyed. But everyone struggled to swim to shore. Hearing of the shipwreck, the Rakshasa women transformed into humans and came to their rescue. After some time, the demons and humans married. After giving birth, the demons arranged for the merchants to live in an iron fortress. One day, the Rakshasa demons transformed themselves into celestial maidens. They anointed their bodies with fragrant perfumes, donned resplendent robes, wore necklaces of pearls, and crowns of wondrous flowers from the heavens. They came to the iron fortress and said to the people, "Come with us, and we will share in the joys of life. There are no men in our place, please come and take shelter for us." The merchants, moved by this, agreed to follow. The Rakshasa then led them to the vicinity of Rakshasa city. They took them to a vast area with lush forests, mountains, and abundant fruit trees. There were lakes and ponds interspersed with various flowers and birds chirping merrily. The Rakshasa city was majestic and beautiful, its surrounding walls made of transparent crystal. From afar, the city looked like a white cloud emerging from the earth. After the Rakshasa women led the merchants to the city, they told them to change out of their old clothes. They gave them fragrant bathwater and 5 kinds of sensual pleasures to delight them. Then the Rakshasa women said to them, "You can enjoy yourselves here. Do not go to the south of the city, where there are many fierce demons." The merchant was a courageous and intelligent man. One day, while the Rakshasa women were asleep, he went alone to the south of the city to investigate. After a long journey, he saw before him a towering iron fortress. Hearing cries for help from within, he climbed the ramparts to observe. Looking into the fortress, he saw a scene no different from hell. Countless mutilated corpses lay scattered inside. Some were almost completely devoured, others half-eaten. Some were not dead but their bodies mutilated. Others were nothing but skin and bones, their eyes and noses hollowed out, lying unconscious on the ground. Most horrifying, they had nothing to eat and were resorting to cannibalism to survive. They saw him and asked, "Who are you, sir? Are you a god or a dragon, a demon or Indra? Have you taken pity on us and come to our rescue?" He replied, "Oh, wretched people! I am neither a god nor a dragon. I am neither Brahma nor Indra. I am just a human being like you." He recounted his journey to them, then asked, "Why are you here enduring such suffering?" They replied, "Your group is exactly like we were before. We also encountered misfortune and came to this land. We also encountered the Rakshasa demonesses. And we also enjoyed pleasures like you. Then the demonesses imprisoned us in this iron fortress and gradually devoured us. They've almost eaten us all now. We also harmonized with the Rakshasa demonesses and had children. The Rakshasa demonesses are sweet and seductive, but they are gluttonous, and all our children are eaten by them. You should quickly return and inform your people." He then suggested they help him find a way to escape, but they said, "The 15th of April is the festival day, when the moon, the sun, and the constellation Mao were in harmony. There was a magnificent horse named KT, whose appearance was pleasing to all who saw it. The horse's head was black with a pinkish hue, it ran as fast as the wind, and its neighing was as melodious as a drum. Wherever this magnificent horse stopped, there was rice. This rice had no husks, was very clean and fragrant, and had all kinds of flavors. This was the horse's food. After eating, the magnificent horse went to the seashore, and there it spoke in a human voice. 'Who wishes to cross the suffering waters of the great sea? Just say yes 3 times, and I will take you to the other shore. If you meet such a magnificent horse, you will escape disaster and get out of here. There is no other way. If you want to escape this place, you must do this.' He asked them, 'Have you ever seen this magnificent horse? If you have seen this magnificent horse, why are you still here?' They replied, 'Every time we climb the wall, it gets higher. Every time we dig a hole to get out, the hole closes shut. We can't escape, so we have to let the Rakshasa women devour us. If you escape, please help us inquire about the health of our parents and relatives.' The merchant, terrified, returned home to find the Rakshasa women still fast asleep. On the 15th day of the 4th lunar month, he told his friends, 'Today, be careful not to be reckless. Don't indulge in women. Don't be greedy for food and drink. I feel immense compassion for you all, and now I will tell you a secret.' Everyone was terrified after hearing his story. They waited until nightfall, when all the Rakshasa women were fast asleep, then secretly went to find the king horse. One day they found the king horse and were brought to the seashore. The horse said, Whoever wishes to cross to the other side of this river of suffering, I will carry them safely across, ensuring they reach the other shore." Hearing the king horse's words, the merchants rejoiced, clasped their hands, bowed their heads, and said, "How kind of you, King Horse! We wish to cross to the other side. Please help us from this side of the river to the other." The king horse replied, "You should know that the female demon will soon arrive. She may bring her children to show you her sorrow, or weep and beg you to stay. At that time, do not be tempted. Do not feel any attachment or affection. If you harbor such thoughts, you will surely fall from my back and become food for those demons. Therefore, you should cultivate this thought. These are not your possessions. These are not your children. Resolutely stay on my back, and I will take you safely to the other shore." Everyone clung to the king horse and flew into the air. At that moment, the Rakshasa demons discovered the king horse. They immediately took their children and rushed to the seashore, weeping and wailing, saying, "Brothers, why are you leaving us? Here are beautiful wives and good children, and deep affection. Why are you leaving? If we have done anything wrong, please repent, and from now on, we will not do evil. Or if you do not need us, please take our children with you." Despite the Rakshasa demons wailing and crying, the king horse Kethi continued to carry the merchants swiftly through the sky. Thanks to this, 500 people safely crossed to the other side of the sea, reaching the realm of Jambudvipa. Now, monks, what do you think? The horse of the king of the beasts at that time was me. The merchant was Sariputta. The 500 merchants at that time were the disciples of Sanjaya Bhadra. I was there at that time, leading these 500 merchants to escape the suffering and calamity. I was in the vast forest of wrong views, transforming and guiding them across the ocean of birth and death. Therefore, you should all be respectful and reverent towards the Buddha. The Rakshasa demon, according to the Dharma Garden Pearl Forest, Tuesday Tam 2020.